Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Sunday morning worship. I had to get up this morning to run off last night. So y'all notice I was at the little bar and grill having a few beers. It's all just chilling. Shout out to my girl, Grand Fam, Jamie. What's up? Tino Lucian, good morning, bro. Gotta replenish that water, man. Whew. I know. Politely school some chicks. You there? And she said, just watch Kevin Samuels politely school some chicks. Yeah, he does it politely. So I understand what the so-called petition is about. Nobody's taking that damn thing seriously. I know I will. He said, stop drinking them beers, man. I know. I know. I've been told that since when I stopped drinking beers. Probably 20. So now I'm 52. But I've cut down. It's so sparingly. So sparingly in which I do it. But not like a good cold one out the tap. You hear me? Yeah, that little Kevin Samuels petition. Isn't it interesting? Again, I'm gonna say this again. Now all of a sudden, on these hip hop shows, and these and all these little media or white corporation owned blogs, Foxhole and all this stuff. Now they want to mention him when they think somebody's attacking him, like to bring him down. But at first, as he on his way to continue to rule, they had nothing to say about him. Oh, you know, Tino, that there's a petition. It only has 5,000 signatures to remove Kevin Samuels from YouTube. They wrote in there saying that he has galvanized men of all races to contribute to the violence against black women. I'm telling you, if insanity, it was a person. And if you go to O'Shea Duke Jackson's YouTube channel, he talks about, he even gives the name of the person, the female that started it. She has no subscribers. So, everybody uses everybody clout, And so what has happened, a Hispanic dude got together and put a petition out to get this anti-male chick, Cynthia G, off. So everybody's got a change.org petition. And the silliest shit is that in order for you to hear Kevin Samuels, you have to log onto your computer, search, then click on his name, then click on in the video. All that stuff is volunteer. So how you gonna get upset with something that you volunteer to do? And no one ever talks about that. And I've watched a lot, probably good 80% of his stuff since he's been on, 85%. And I catch all the playbacks, yeah. And so, and when they say you're not doing it right unless somebody's talking about you or trying to bring you down or all of that kind of stuff, well, they're trying to start a petition. Nobody's buying it, because one thing about when you're telling the truth, it stands alone. And most importantly, when you are speaking on the holy grail in America called the female, or in our community, the sacred cow, that is the black female, you must be stopped. You can't talk about her fuckery. I just said that on Sunday mornings, right? So anyway, that's what that's about. But let me properly open my show. Welcome everybody. Good morning to my Sunday morning worship. And my goal is to not use any more cuss words, because this is my Sunday morning worship. Come on, somebody. Hallelujah. Hold my mule. All right. So, He said, right, people are weirdos. And so, in case you didn't know that, but I'll let you know that there's a short story that I wrote years ago. It's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. It's in a PDF format, and it's a PDF format, about 40, 50 pages that I wrote. The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. It's talked about when I accidentally found out about who my actual biological father was by accident. I was having a casual conversation with my Aunt Pat, who's passed away years ago from pancreatic cancer. Rest in peace, Aunt Pat. And we were just talking. I was a student at Grambling State University. I remember that, never forget that night. But I just called and said hi to her because she lived here in Dallas at the time. I was still in Louisiana attending Grambling. And we were just talking, and next know she's like, yeah, like your dad, boom, boom. I'm like, who? I thought my dad's name was blah, blah. She's like, no, boy, your mama ain't told you. I'm like, no, told me what? So the conversation became a little awkward, and she just felt like kind of bad, but I guess she didn't mean for that to come out like that. But, of course, you know how when people keep stuff, they never have any intentions of telling you, so that's just how it is, shit. And so, Carlos, good morning, brother. And, so, I got information, got a chance to talk to him on the phone from 22 to 39 because he never wanted to meet with me in person. For some strange reason, I wasn't asked for anything. This time, I graduated with a master's degree. I was in undergrad, but at that time, I graduated, Grambling with a master's degree, working as a full-time counselor or therapist in my field. So I didn't need him for anything. You know, that thing is when you try to find out who your biological folks are, that is just, it's almost like the natural thing to do to find out, well, where did I come from? Because I know I didn't get everything, all that I am from my mother. But that's the weirdest kind of training that we put on black children due to the fact that 80% of black children are born without fathers. And I say it's by choice of the women. And so, to single mothers. And so, the whole family just have you, boy, you act like your mom, you blah, 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 blah. Then when they get mad at you, just like your damn dad. So who is he? Where is he? Then the room gets quiet. You know how that works. But you'll say, when you get mad at the son or the daughter, mainly the sons, women in our community bring him up when you're being disparaging. When you're trying to hurt the child's feelings, you bring up the absent father that he has never met, probably never knew of, and that goes on rampantly across this country and in every other black household and every other probably American household. But I'm talking about us because we know it's very prevalent based on the statistics and the data. And so, and they do that, like your ugly ass daddy. You act just like your dad, all that kind of shit. But one thing I can say, my mom never even mentioned the cat. So all that, what I just told y'all, it never happened to me. She never said any of that. Because I guess when she moved on from the brother, she moved on. That's how I know. That's why I was totally shocked. She never made any reference to anything. She just moved on. She was over it. And so I guess it was kind of tough that can of worms being popped open and she having to, I guess, relive it or have to explain, because definitely when it popped off, I left school and I asked for an explanation. Like clockwork, people were upset and shit. But it's about me. So that's just the story in that. And so I would call him, and it's in the book. Where I would call him and I jot down the exact time that we would talk. It never went past 2 minutes, and then it was always him pretty much running the conversation as if he was, running defense. And me in my head, I said, well, I won't answer, so I won't push him, I won't prod, I won't ask him, why you leave, man? Because I wasn't concerned about that. I just wanted to meet to see what he looked like. When I picked the phone up the first time to hear his voice, I laid the phone down because I couldn't believe it. I said, well, I'll be damned. That's my voice on the other end of this receiver. And so all of a sudden, I heard him say, hello, hello. I had laid the damn phone down, just was tripping. And so I picked the phone, like, yeah. But he never offered anything. Never offered any kind of explanation or no. He didn't even talk to me like I was a real person. he was just talking at me like things he needed me to know, but wasn't anything that should have been told. Like, been a man to even apologize, none of that. And so I was like, look, so you got other sons. Well, at that time his sons were 6 and 8 years old. And so I was like, maybe I can meet them. I got half brothers, huh? Half little brothers. I'm in my 20s. He's like, nah, I don't think that'll be a good idea. I'll let fate handle that. So I was like, well, damn. And so we went on and talked over the years, and over the phone, he still never wanted to meet. I said, man, I don't care if you just walk down the street and somebody pointed you out. I just want to see what you look like and all of that. He wouldn't give up anything. I'm telling you, me talking to that cat was like trying to have sex with a nun in a monastery. She wasn't getting up that pussy. And he wasn't, oh, dang, I cussed. Well, that's the name of a cat. But that's how difficult it was. I literally tiptoed around this dude just to see if he had any kind of humanity inside of him, or, it wasn't trying to make him feel guilty or anything. I just wanted answers, but he didn't have that. So that's when I say, people say, well, how can a man walk off with the sea? Well, first, that has to be his purpose. Yeah, women have the children. Women have to decide, damn, do I need to have a kid for this dude? Because that's the biggest gift from God that a woman can give to a man. And you giving it to him just because you had sex with him, well, don't expect his behavior to change. Because somehow we think, well, man, I don't know how a dude that walk off with him. See, it's easily. Yeah, that's not why dudes are there. Dudes and women, teenagers, 20s and 30s, they're there to have sex. They're not there to have babies. You decide to have the babies, young ladies. So debate that all you want to, but it's the truth. And so I wasn't holding that against him. I just wanted to say, hey, what's up? And would you be appropriate enough to, show me the extension of who I am? He like, no, hell no. And so that went on and went on. And so on December 25th, 2008, I'm like, okay, enough of this shit. I had extended all these courtesies. Talk cool, try to be calm, but he's still talking like he's some kind of king and control or something. And so, just nothing. When I say he wasn't trying to give up anything, he wasn't trying to give up anything. And so, 2008, December 25th, and I was 39 years old at this time. I'm like, you know what, damn all this. I'm not going to take this into my 40s. So I made a decision to Google and look up the addresses and all that. I had his name, so I'm like, okay, let me Google it and look it up. 5 addresses appeared throughout the city. And so I told my brother, man, let's go. On Christmas Day, we was at my sister's house at the time, having dinner and stuff and opening presents and all that crap. And I said, let's go, man. It's like 4 o'clock. As we rode around, I said, hey, we're going to try all these addresses until I know one of them has to be his house. And so I was like, let's try this one. My brother's like, man, that's way out there. Let's try this one. This is close. I said, well, let's start out there, then work our way back here. So we went to the address that I chose, the first address that I chose, went there, and I be damned, it was actually his. I'll tell you, as folks would say on Sunday morning worship, won't he do it? And so, rang the doorbell, and the longest doorbell in my life, I thought at that time, bloop, bloop. The door knob twisted open, and because when we rolled up there, it looked like nobody was home. This is Christmas Day. Like no festivity, no kind of celebratory anything going on, no music. I think the windows were up. They had this happy holiday snowman in front of the yard. That was it. No glitz, no glamour. You know how we do when it comes to Christmas, black folks. But I guess in the uppity suburbs, they do things a little more modestly, I guess. So went in there, two-door garage home, 2-story, big body junk. And so I'm like, okay, cool. He turned out well, living all right. And so he came out, and my brother's behind me, and I saw this figure come out from his door. My body walk from behind this damn door. I said, and I just looked at it, and I looked back at my brother. I said, man, you see this shit? My brother's like, wow. So my brother came from around me and said, hey, my name is Eric. So he said, oh, hey, Eric. And then I said, hey, Rico. He said, oh, hey, Rico. I'm like, wow, really? And so he said, oh, so how'd you find me? I said, Google MapQuest. He said, well, I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me. Yeah, and that very uppity, little snotty little tone. And then that kicked off our two and a half, almost 3 hour conversation. Now get it. He never invited me on the porch. He stood on the porch with his arm folded tight with this grimace on his face as he belted out words as I attempted to pose questions. He belted out responses that had nothing to do with what I was asking him. I'm very condescending. It's unfortunate. My brother's like, man, Rico, why are you still sitting here listening to this mother lover? My brother grabbed my arm and said, man, let's go. I said, nah, man, I've been prepared. I need to hear all of this. I need to see if there's is there any way I can penetrate and for this dude to realize I'm not here as his enemy. He's treating me like I had stolen his microwave the day before and attempting to bring it back. I'm clean, dressed nice. It was Christmas, haircut. I'm clean. I ain't come in as no bum. There's a grown-ass man who's taking care of himself all his life. But that didn't, no. B. Mario, what's up? So that wasn't enough. So just there to say what's up. And so, he went on and ran his mouth about stuff, pretending he remembered shit and all that. And so I said, well, where's everybody at? This is Christmas. I don't hear anybody moving around. He said, well, my son is upstairs. I said, hey, cool. Maybe I can meet him. He's like, no, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Now, at this time, the son is 18. I don't think that'd be a good idea. I'm like, what? He's like, well, we'll just let fate handle that. So this time I asked him, so where's your wife? He said, she's behind me listening at the door. And all of a sudden the door opened up behind him and she came out. I said, how you doing, ma'am? My name is Rico. I'm not trying to start anything. I just came to meet my dad for the first time in my entire life. And he introduces me to her like this. He says, oh, hon, I don't know if we've ever discussed this, but she said, no, we've never discussed this. He said, well, I was young and I had a son, and here he is. Just pointed at me like I was, which choice of a prize do you want to pick on the Price is Right kind of shit. And she said, oh, okay. I said, how you doing, ma'am? And so she got a good look at me and she left. The next thing you know, she disappears. I saw her go to the right and the left, then she just disappeared. She had on like a house coat or a gown and stuff. They were just chilling. And then next thing you know, about 5 minutes later, the door opens back up and she brings the son out. To his chagrin, to him being pissed. And I met the young brother, say hello. We would just say hi. I wanted to give him my card, but they were both staring at us and staring at my mouth. They make sure there was no contact, and we got to talk for about 5 minutes on that porch. Now, it's a grown-ass young man. Found out he went to UT Knoxville, and he was majoring in political science, I think, and running track or playing football, something like that. Just a short thing. I said, all right, man, it's nice to meet you and all that, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, the mom says, okay, it's chilly out here. You don't have any shoes on. All you have are your socks. Now, he had been standing there talking to me in one of them track runners, white beater athletic shirts, with the name of the school and stuff on it. It looked like he worked out a little bit, kind of muscular little brother, athletically built. And then the dad said, yeah, son, yeah, it's kind of cool out. So they pulled him out and whisked him away. And I didn't give any contact. So anyway, yeah, so we talked. He talked at me for 2.5 hours, so it was beginning to get dark. And all of a sudden he said, oh, man, before you go, I was like, damn, before I go. So I said, well, this thing is bigger than us because I have half siblings. I got 2 younger brothers and I have 2 younger sisters. Because when he became a adult, because my mom was teenagers when I was created. And so when he got to be grown, I guess 2021, he got married, his first marriage. And I'm assuming he had 2 daughters from that marriage. And so I have 2 younger sisters, probably in their 40s. And I got 2 younger brothers, right like 30, maybe 28 and 30 or something like that. Yeah, something like that. And, but I said, well, it's bigger than us. I have half siblings and stuff that, I'd like to meet someday. And he stood there with his little ass and said, no, this ends here with me. Like, remember the Superman 2 when Zod said, no, you will kneel to Zod. That's the kind of shit. Like, I'm like, fool, you got authority of them folks in your house. You have no authority out here, you dumbass. It's just crazy. You run them, you don't run it. So, but all I know is that was 2008. And I have not heard a word from their wife or that son and nobody. So my question has always been, and I wrote this in my short story, if somebody came on your porch on Christmas Day or hell on a Saturday morning cartoons and said, hey, your dad is my dad, how far do y'all think that would have gone before the whole family be like, man, what the? And let me know something's going on in that household. A whole lot of stuff. I said, like, you got a damn near borderline personality, narcissistic weirdo running it, controlling it. But those are all grown people. Even years later, I remember sending a friend's request to that particular brother. It said unanswered for about a year. So I don't know what was said in that house. All I know, no contact ever. It's 2021 from 2008. No contact. So that's the story on that and other things. Just give me all the rough on that day, on that particular day. Stuff that happened on that, yeah. Just a rundown of that. So, again, it's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt Conversation. Mary Max, good morning. She says, you didn't think the young man told the other siblings that you came back? Of course not, Mary Max. These people, these were Stepford people. Stepford. And if he did tell it, I was painted as some kind of guy who was intruding on him. Something, trust me. Well, you know, a narcissistic weirdo. It remixed the story, I'm sure. And of course, now, can anybody come to a black mama's house and say that your husband is the father of somebody standing on the porch and nothing else is said ever? It's weird. There was some weird little setup there. And so, but anyway, it's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. Conversation with my absent biological father who never wanted to be found. It's $10. Cash App, Rico the Opinionist. PayPal, same thing, Rico Rivers, if you want to hit me that way. And please, if you decide to purchase it through Cash App, PayPal, please send an email address because it's in PDF format. And then I'll be able to send it to you directly as soon as your payment has been received. Okay. Mary Max says, good morning, Kenyatta Kelly. Mary Max says, I'm sure your siblings know about you. Now it's up to them to find you. Okay, well, I'll look forward to their postcard when I'm 80, Mary Max. And their grandchildren like, hey, who is this man? You know, his videos are forever, so they may see it. And so, but anyway, I did my little run and all that stuff, and I want to talk to y'all real quick about the 2 topics. That's one of those birds that hang out at the Norman Bates Motel. The Bates Motel. Mother, you don't know her, Norman. She doesn't love you, Norman. No, you don't know her, mother. She's a whore, Norman. You know, that kind of shit. Psycho, you remember the original movie in 64, 5, 63, some shit. She's gonna use you, Norman. No, mother, that's not true. So, y'all be careful. Well, some Amityville horror shit just happened. One of those blackbirds that be, yeah, so. But anyway. Um, so, I have two topics. One is black men being disposable, and I'm gonna talk. Let me start with there before I go into the. He said, Tino said the bird is on the hunt. Yeah, let me get my ass on past the pole. It might be hunting 5'5" chocolate brothers who are trying to lose their stomach. So let me keep it moving. So let's see who's this. Jamal, what's up? And anyway, let's start with black men being disposable. No, I read the story. Game of Thrones, okay, Mary Max. So I saw this story where his father was murdered in his house by a 17-year-old little bastard who his 14-year-old daughter just act like she just could not get enough of his peen. Let me say this and I'm gonna continue. My little niece is now 21 and something like that. When she was a little girl, she's always asked me, she's about 5 or 6, 7, all the way up to probably 10 or 12. Uncle Rico, you don't have any children? I'm like, no. They said, how come you never had any children? I said, sweetheart, because they grew up to be teenagers. And that's has always been our running joke, or my running response. I said, sweetheart, because they grew up to be teenagers. Now, if it was like the religious Jesus Christ story, where they turn 11 or 12 and disappear, then come back raised and got manners and act like they got some good sense at 33, I'll do it. But no, that's only a fable in a book. No. These damn kids stay with you from 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, with all the foolishness that comes with it. And I've seen, family members with teenagers go through that crap. I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I'll pass on that. And so, let me get back to the story. It's just, it's just that, if you saw the story, when they lived in some apartments, the boy would just get a ladder and climb up to the second story apartment, get up there. Little mama waiting on her, Rapunzel Negro, let down your hair. Okay, wherefore art thou? Come on up here. Whatever. And so, then they moved to a house. This same little bastard somehow found a letter. Keith, what's up? Still, and so, and it lets you know just how little girls or teenage girls, like I said, if I had kids, I'd rather have sons, triplet sons, and it'd be it. The one thing about sons, you can put that and just go on with that shit. But you got daughters. I know fathers have a different relationship with daughters. They look at them like, hey, my baby girl, I want to protect her, but the motherfuckers get you killed. Just like this. When I always talk about, I hate to have some apartments and they allow Section 8 single mothers in there. They're the ones that bring on the crime. Because they don't know how to pick positive penis. They always pick poisonous penis. These Section 8 chicks and these teen girls. And of course, let me do the disclaimer, not all, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And that damn girl has sit around and got her father murdered because she could not resist his peen, and got this boy probably sent to be put to jail. 2 black men murdered because she was in heat. 2 black men's lives destroyed because she was in heat. And he bust his ass off to try to protect her from her damn self. And that's pretty much when you have teenagers, you have to protect them from themselves. They don't get it till after you've been ran ragged and they're now 25 to 30 or 35 or whatever. They tell you, man, Dad, Mom, I really appreciate you, what you did, but hell, their mental health is hanging on by a thread by now, trying to protect your silly ass from yourself. I'm like, well, who wants to sign off to that? But people do it because babies are cute. But they forget these little babies grew up to be 13, 14, 15. And these days, they're effing terrible. Not all, but too many. And so, And that goes speaking to the bigger picture of how disposable black men are. Everybody steps on the backs of blacks for their own selfish gains, even their own children. But black men, black boys too. Their mothers used the black boys to go out there and fish and hunt for them. Instead of her hunting and fishing for a man, she used her son to risk his life in these terrible situations. Selling dope, getting in a gang, or making terrible rap music that brings on violence and murder. Black boys ain't good for shit. They're not all, but too many. Yeah, that's right. Tino is tripping. And so, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. We're going to have to come to this reality. That's why I'm always, me and others, always talking about the protection of black boys and black men. Even their own daughters are having them. And this is nothing new. But we need these black fathers to stop jumping like, I'm gonna kick this dude, I'm gonna kick his ass. No, it's not him, because he wouldn't be able to put the ladder up if her legs weren't open when he put the ladder up. No man will be able to come in your house unless your daughter say, come on in, they have to sleep. That's how these boys get in the house. He didn't break in nowhere. He was just coming in, because she was like, come on up here. That's how. That boy didn't break, that young man, that little teenage 17-year-old he was not breaking and entering. She was saying, you find a way to the window, I'll let the window up and you come on in. And that's what happened. So her father is dead at 34 years old. And she got other siblings that gonna have to be raised without their father. I'm trying to see, was he a single dad, a single parent? And this broad here, so she gonna have to live with that. Yeah. She got to live with it. It's terrible. And that got on my damn nerves. That here we go again. We're not being honest about the children. And these days, how manipulative and how selfish they are. They don't give a shit. All they want is what they want. And this man has had to lose his life trying to protect somebody who didn't want to be protected. Just wanted her little body banged out by the little 17-year-old. I love him. And it's just part of, I guess, American society and human nature. Young girls, they have to have them a fool. That's what it is. And so a lot of young men are training themselves to be fools. Because the fools seem to get more passes than the so-called behaving young men. And that's what the good so-called gentlemen or the good young men have noticed. And they're taking on their persona. So, but anyway, rest in peace to that loving, responsible father. And that girl's going to need, some kind of therapy. And one is any kind of way that she can be charged as a co-conspirator in that. Because if it wasn't for her telling the boy to come up there and making it all right, the dad will still be here. And dads would have to work so hard if daughters weren't such doorknobs. Not all, but too many. Boys getting heat too. I understand that. But one thing about a lot of young men, they don't bring too much stuff to the house. These daughters bring all the bullshit to the house. Now, of course, we know about the grandma house getting shot up if he in a gang and stuff and trying to get away. But they don't bring them inside the house. Daughters bring the devil in the house. Not all, but too many. And we're going to have to realize that. So it's some more training or something. I don't know what's happening. Your parents need to get together and figure that out. What is it about my daughter? I'm a father trying to tell her, sweetheart, that's not the right thing to do. Did he whip her ass or anything or something? All I know is she was hooked on that thing called love. Ooh, baby. Bam, bam. Thing called love. And got her father murdered. Like, damn, Rico, you put it on her? Yeah, who else? Yeah, he was out of line, little bold, little bastard. Gonna come up there and have a pistol in somebody else's house. So it's terrible parenting on both sides. Obviously he didn't. Where was his dad? Like, dude, what you doing growing them folks out? Did that man tell you not to come up there? And maybe the father, I don't know if the father called his mother or something. There should have been some communication on both sides. Maybe the father should have called the mom. We don't know. I'd like to ask his mother or his father, did that dad ever call y'all about this little bastard coming over his house, my house, trying to see my daughter? He around here. Yeah, that shit is dangerous. Yeah, just weird. So, in this society, black men and black boys become everyone's disposal. I mean, just at everyone's disposal. Don't matter who it is, everybody gets to use black boys and black men. I need black men to protect black boys a little more and to teach them we have no friends. Hell, and I've often said that a lot of times black men, y'all don't even know that y'all are literally sleeping with the enemy, or the enemy is sleeping 2 doors down from your bedroom in your house. It just happens like that. Society has moved into a weird ass direction. Family is not what it used to be. And people don't respect fathers and their mothers like they used to. And particularly fathers, because American fathers, not just black fathers, but American fathers have just been almost written off. Like, you ain't got to listen to him. You empowered. You can do what you want to do. You do. And they do. They teach this all the time. Look at TV shows. The dad is the doofus one. That's why one thing I enjoyed about the Cosby Show, him and Miss Rashad, or him and Heathcliff and Claire didn't play that. No, we want the goofy ones you are. And so they put that stuff in American television. The dad is the bumbling idiot, but somehow all the bills are paid. And the children are smarter than the parents. And I remember Dr. Cosby saying that in an interview. He said, look around, the children are smarter than the parents. And then you got the music has changed. It's not parent friendly. And just tell them, no, do what you want. They can't tell you what to do as they drive them to the mall and buy them stuff. And feed and clothe and house them and tell them I love you and all that. They steal. You know, we got to put, sex ed back in the classroom, back in the curriculum, and teach these young people about emotions and feelings. And when they call themselves falling in love, this is the way you do it. You don't do it to your detriment or to the detriment of others. Got to teach young people. 7th grade on up. This is what it is. This feeling is called attraction. It's called being in love and butterflies, but it's okay to feel that way because you're human. Young lady, you see a young man that you think is handsome, it's okay to like your stomach get kind of bubbly. It's natural. That's how we're supposed to be drawn to each other. But we need professionals in these classrooms to teach the young people exactly how to navigate that. And teach. Need to teach them what emotions are, what feelings are. There's a lot that can be done, when it comes to that. But we're not doing it. They've taken PE out of school. They've taken health class out. If they teach it, they don't teach it like they used to teach us in the 80s. Now it's just some foolishness. They got more ISS shit in the schools. In some schools, they have like trailers outside of the school. Instead of suspending them out and sending them home, they have them in suspension at the school outside of the building. They got a room, they have a whole classroom for it. Then they have trailers outside. But in there, they just give them the homework, the work they wouldn't do in class, like they're going to do the work in there. A lot of them did, but some of them like, shit, they went in there and went to sleep. They go in there and go to sleep. But I used to sub and do, and I loved ISS. That way I had a captured audience and we'd talk about stuff. And issues of the day and all of that. I enjoyed doing that. And they enjoyed it. We just have conversation about what they want to talk about. And I'll just add, a little something in there and let them have a conversation with each other guided by me. When that person's talking, you listen. You raise your hand when you want to be heard, and boom. So I was teaching them the art of conversation and having a dialogue. But in ISS, I enjoyed that. It was cool. So, black father's dead. Well, father's dead, period. Because a young lady couldn't handle her hormones, and it's like her hormones put cotton in her ears. And that took a lot of damn nerves. He should have beat his little ass a long time ago. Took a lot of nerves. You're going to do it while the dad is there, and the dad got to confront you in his living room, and you don't have enough reverence for somebody's father. You trying to fight back like you the other man and shit. I mean, it was, and you come out with a pistol. You don't bring a pistol with you. He needs to have his little ass, and they don't give him no juvenile time. Let him just throw his little dumb ass away. You come to somebody's house with a gun, you little fucker, you. All right, that's the 3rd and 4th cuss word. It's a mess. But That's the debate. The black men, disposable men of America. We have to address that, guys. All right. So my next topic is I was going across YouTube, and I've heard this word a lot, and we'll talk about this word called polygamy. Anybody familiar with that? David Aubrey, what's up, man? It's good. This thing called polygamy. And I've heard about it for years. Y'all know what polygamy is, right? You know, when a guy, he's married to, or he's in a relationship with two women, and they live together and committed harmony and all of this stuff. But I've always found it amazing that when American culture try to do what other cultures have done for centuries. See, polygamy works in those other countries, like some of the Middle Eastern countries, I guess. That's something that's been going on. And then multiple wives, like in Africa and stuff over the centuries, that's for kings. No, royalties. Not for just regular dudes who work part-time at 7-Eleven. See, now you have this guy, he's got this island, got all these little pretty dark-skinned chicks coming down there. His name, Wild something, just a weirdo ass dude. That ain't nothing but some, what I call Negro David Koresh, Jim Jones shit going on. They got to be out their damn minds. They'll leave the states to go to that island, and this retarded dude around here talking about having sex in front of his kids, because it's a natural order things, and y'all know, just look him up on YouTube. Wild Man or Nature Boy or something. I think it's Nature Boy. That's a joke. And then they all have enough, then they bring their little silly behind back with the two babies they had with this Negro. And I know herpes and all other STDs are running rampant around there. And they all under this so-called consciousness. All this consciousness that's going on. See, that stuff is not for the Americans, especially for the American Negro. They take it and they don't know what to do with the information. They try to take on culture that's not part of this American culture. We live under capitalism. Things are done a certain way. But if you can convince somebody to get out of their own money, out of their own homes, out of their own humanity to come follow you, hey, I'm high-fiving you, bro. I'm high-fiving you. You got a hell of a mouthpiece on you, bro. These folks doing all this stuff voluntarily. And so, but polygamy, let me see. The comedian D. Ray Davis is really popular with his situation because he has two women and he's had them for years, and he talks about it, how it works, and a lot of guys can't pull that off because there's a particular savoir-faire that one has to possess in order to do that. And then also, that's work, because you have to have been able to understand the mentality and the emotional health of the two women who volunteered to participate in that. They have to really, really have given in and submitted to that particular system of a relationship, right? System of a relationship. And we got guys that's trying to be in a polygamous relationship. A lot of times it's all about sex. Man, I got 2 weeks, man. I got 8 houses in my here. I got to be down all blah, blah. It's ego. But you still need some money. D. Ray Davis is not a poor guy. He has money. He can economically support these women. He's a very popular, famous actor and comedian for years. So he has cheese. But it has to be an understanding, and I guess that's another way of saying, no, I don't want to get married, but I would still want a bunch of chicks. But a lot of women need to understand they're in polygamous relationships, don't even know it. You dating this guy, young lady, he got a baby with you, then he got a side piece chick and got a baby. That's polygamy. Y'all just don't know it. But there's no agreement that's been made. Now, if everybody come together, some kind of spiritual understanding, and they both submitted to it, I'm sure it can work. But these loudmouth, broke-ass dudes talk, man, I won't do it. I want polygamous. And there's always these dudes who just so African and so conscious. And I'm not against Afrocentric consciousness at all. That's part of my foundation. But I use it responsibly. I don't use it to manipulate. I use it to educate myself and also to dictate my behavior and also to have an understanding of more of an understanding of this reality I live in. You know, we people are tripping, and these so-called extra conscious brothers out here. Yeah, brother, yo, queen goddess, yo, sister, yo, king, that's a bunch of BS. That's a bunch of BS. And sisters, don't fall for that. It's bad enough y'all falling for common law marriage. Y'all gonna fall for these little lame ass dudes talking about some polygamy. And these dudes that talking about polygamy, hell, broke as shit. And the women are just, you know, going along with the poverty. Like, come on. This is weird. If y'all gonna do it right. Let me see, who is this trying to come on here? Let's see. If it'll, my phone don't let people come in live. Let me see. It don't hardly let people in. So I tried to. That's that Tino. I tried to put you in, but it wasn't. I'm gonna upgrade while I can be able to do this. So anyway, I just thought about that. You know, that stuff works in other cultures because there's a culture that is built around it. I said, Billy Rose, what's up? There's a culture around polygamy. We don't have that culture in this country. We're just copying stuff and not doing it right because culture is something, not only when you're a kid, it's within and becomes traditional. These folks in America talking about some damn polygamy, you don't know anything about that. Why don't you go to some of these African countries and find out the status and the intelligence of the men who have 1, 2, maybe 3 wives, and y'all need to observe how that's done and then study under these people and their culture. Or even some of these Middle Eastern countries, find out exactly what the tools are, what the rules are. Come on, somebody. To having a polygamous relationship. Because that stuff, that's not something to be played with and entered into based on ego. But we are coming to a point in the country, as relates to black women, that if they really want to, they don't want to die alone and with a cat and a dog, roof, roof, Kevin Samuels. You know, they may have to consider polygamous relationship. Man sharing, as they call it in this country. You're sharing a man anyway. And then you're upset when you find out. When you say, because there are at least 2 million more African-American women than it is men. And instead of, and that's another thing that's so funny. When they find out, well, it's more women than men. Now, we can say, well, because there's more girls being born, but also, these women never ask the question, why do we outnumber the men so much? What happened to the men? And they see that, they say, well, they're getting incarcerated. A lot of them are killing each other and all this, but you would think that the women would be trying to fight to have men, meaning start putting systems in place or fighting for systems that will help preserve more black men. They don't. They say a little weird ass shit. Well, ain't no eligible men. Ain't no good men around. They either gay in jail or they're down low. Well, you ignorant, narcissistic jackass. You don't even care enough to find out what's causing the decline in black boys. It lets me know there's something wrong with you. That's what the movement should be. Your movement should not be equality. Your movement should be, why the hell are our men disappearing while other men are increasing? If you cared about your men. We don't give a damn about no women's movement. The movement should be 10,000 to 100,000 black women marching on D.C. saying, stop killing our boys. Stop attacking our boys in these school systems and creating these prisoner pipeline educational situations. Attacked from 1st grade all the way to 8th grade, so by the time they get to 9th grade, they're saying to hell with school. I'm not learning anything anyway. But all of a sudden, same system, girls are flourishing. But none of these PhD black chicks, these intellectual black chicks, these high platform having black chicks, these CNN and MSNBC black chicks, no one ever posed this question or put together and say, hey, let's get together and rescue our men. And all they say, black men need to stand up. Black men need to... Well, I say, there's a movement that says, save yourself, black man. You ever heard of that? Because that's what it's gotten down to. These hoes don't care. All they care about their political, they're given allotted political power and political and educational and economic platform. That's all they care about. They don't care about no damn black boys and black men. Because there'll be movements across the country. But every time you look around, a sister gets attacked. We need black men to protect black women. Wait a minute. Y'all don't even ask why is there such a decrease in black men? All these black female scientists don't ever say, well, why is it this appears so many black boys are coming out with almost effeminate and even gay? Because they know it's the food. They know it's the systematic disappearance of black males from the households. You know, that's what I'm saying. All this is bullshit. That's my 5th cuss word, sorry. It's trash. So I don't take women seriously when they cry out for stuff. Because I watch what they do. Now you get together and follow some feminism that's totally against men of all races, particularly in your race, the men and the boys. But as long as the men and the boys kiss your ass and you want to feel like a queen, that's fine. But then other women say, well, how come y'all being married? Well, the black men, they aren't there. They are there. They are there. They get married all the time. You don't believe me? Ask Mei Ling. Ask Marisol. Ask Becky. Black men get married all the goddamn time. And to any woman of any race, if you're not married and you want to be married a lot of times, you know, older women, y'all telling young girls, this is what you do. Act like it when you're in your early 20s. David Pierce. What's up, Dave? Hey, man. He said, they are there. David, don't be putting that picture up there, man, and expect us to behave, man. And we're behaving respectfully, Dave. Shout out to your moms, bro. I think you did that to set us up. No, we were all very dignified, very dignified and very, very gentlemanlike and respectful. But that, like, whoa, bro, what's up? You put that picture up there. I'm like, wait a minute now. But a good picture, man. Shout out to moms, man. That comes from drinking water, man, and being sweet all her life. That's how you preserve. You got a son, I guess your age. How old are you? I don't even know, but I know somewhere around there. And still look like, when y'all go out together, it's problems for you. Hey, man, that's my mom. What you doing? Hey, bro, that's my mom. Yeah. So, shout out. But anyway, yeah, man, it's just, you probably came on, we talking about how black men are so disposable. 43, man, come on. So, yeah, it's like that, man. They take care of themselves and drink water and be sweet. As they get older, they age gracefully and live life. Don't just start falling apart because they reach 50 or whatever. Yeah, you can still look like they have a grown son. Yeah. And still look like, when you grow out with your grown son as the mom, and still he feeling the pressure. Yeah, so, and that was part of my Sunday morning worship, Dave. We're talking about that. How black men are so disposable. I used the father being murdered by a 14-year-old's boyfriend, and she let him in the house all the time. So, but it's got broader than that. But now I'm talking about polygamy, how it's pretty much a joke when it comes to this country, and I think these cats need to cut it out until they go and respectfully learn the culture of polygamy, learn the rules, learn to understand, and then also the women need to stop acting on desperation, because you don't have to die alone. You don't have to resort to lesbianism to have somebody. You don't have to do that, because I'm always questioning people's beliefs. I'm a non-believer of these religions. I don't have these issues like these religious folks do. I don't. So I guess they say, what are you, atheist and all that? No, I live in reality. I try to read stuff and talk to people who are also smart. Just learn some things. All that other stuff, they just seem like they just lose faith in their own beliefs and start doing all kinds of weird stuff. There's no such thing as a man's shortage. But in our brains, we put particular standards up that, I got this degree, I need to have this. But you only have a gym membership, baby. So maybe you have the degree and maybe get a third degree in karate. That's some exercise. Maybe that'll help. Black belt in karate. Because that's some exercise you have to do there. You know, guys are, and they always say, you know, guys are visual. Yeah, we are. So why aren't you adhering to the rules if you know that we are visual? These stubborn American women, stubborn. You got to love me and where I am. Well, there you go. Where are the men at? There's no men around. Men don't want, like, cut it out, baby. Just fall in line. God damn it. Cut out all the starches and the fatty foods. Go seek therapy for that bad attitude. Take the eyelash and weave off your head and act like a lady. And come running with me, shit. Run about 3 miles every morning. Get you a fruit and vegetable smoothie. And drink you at least 8 glasses of water every day. And read some books other than romance novels. Yeah, and just go out and buy feminine girl dresses and skirts and, you know, teach your daughters. They'll get one. They have all kinds of marriage proposals before they turn 25. Kareem, my man, what's up, man? I'm thinking about you, bro. What's good? So, welcome to my Sunday morning worship, man. I think it would probably be almost winding down. Got a few minutes. But yeah, so, we got to teach the ladies. Just tell them, but they won't listen. They won't listen, and that's fine. Because one thing about the men, we're moving on. And are the men perfect? Hell no. Are the women angels? Hell no. So we're going to have to meet in the middle, but at least can we meet in the middle physically? And yes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I don't want any of us to just fall on that little saying. Let's all try to at least make an effort so we can be beheld as some kind of beauty by somebody, you hear me? You know, let's put some work in. You know, we do the easy stuff. I'll go to college and get this degree. I'll go to the store and buy the $90 to $150 cologne. I'll go and get the $70,000 car. I'll go and get the big crib and all that. But physically, I got everything else except the easy part is, let me work on myself physically. And that's men and women. Because y'all seen some of these broke dudes, but they cut up like prison cut up. Even the women with the master's degree and the PhDs can't keep their eyes off of them. See, that's what it is. Kevin Matthews, good morning, my man. Bro, so that's the stuff that we should be working on. Work on this physical health. I'm telling you, when you're in good shape, we're not asking about everybody to be like, cut up like a WWE wrestler. We're not asking all the women to look like Megan Good. Come on, somebody, give me a minute. Shout out to her preacher husband. But they're saying be the best you. Bring it down about 40 pounds or 50 pounds. Tone it up. Oh, Kareem said, finally I got to catch you live. Yeah, you catch a few minutes, bro. And so, good morning, Kev. And so, anyway, it sounds like it's like, whoa, that's it? Yeah. But it's hard to do because I'm out here sweating, trying to look like the best 50-something that I can look, you know, because some 35-year-old may think I'm handsome, and I want to be up to the challenge, you know, because fellas, when you work out and exercise, it does take a few years off your life, off your face and your presentation. And also, ladies know when they get in shape, they feel good about themselves, and then and that exudes from their pores. When you feel good about yourself, you know you've eaten right, you've done everything you're supposed to do, unless you're healthy, you feel better. And as men, we have to really be careful about our, what is called the gut health. You know, our gut health. You know, as we get older, man, I know no one loves a nice cold Bud Light or Coors Light or Corona Premium out of the tap more than I do. Sparingly, here and there, every once in a while. No one loves that and a nice plate of hot wings with steak cut fries. Come on, somebody. But, and I know other guys like the big sloppy fat burgers and cheeseburgers and buckets of chicken, you know, all the kind of sports foods. I know that. You be at home on your lazy boy, you know, your home and stuff that you built for yourself, you and your families and stuff, and you just chilling. But for the single men out here, or the newly divorced men, it's time to hit that gym and stay in there, and you don't have to work hard, hit it hard. Just be mindful of your gut health, because you know, I'm learning you can do all the push-ups, all the running, and all the crunches and all that shit. But if you're eating trash, your stomach is still gonna be trash. You're like, well, damn, I'm jogging, I'm swimming, I'm hitting the weights, but my gut. So you got to pay attention to that, fellas, ladies, particularly the men. You have to pay attention to that stuff. So, but anyway, I know I've talked about the polygamy, talked about disposable black men being so disposable, and we have to keep that in mind. And for those of us who want to continue to date and possibly marry and produce black children with black women, well, there's some work that's been done. A machine has been put in place to just divide us over the past 50 years. We've been made a fool of. Everybody else knows that the women in their race is the only women for them. Yeah, you got a few of them that defect, but they've messed around and convinced us that, man, I don't want no black man, I don't want no black woman. That shit is weird. Hell, I'm pissed a lot of times too. I said, man, these motherfuckers act stupid. Damn, my sixth cuss word on this Sunday morning worship. But when you get out and start meeting people and saying hello, there's some sweet ones out there. Matter of fact, I'll say there's more sweet ones out there than jackasses. But y'all know they say one apple spoils the whole barrel. Well, the jackasses have been funded to be in everybody's face. And I don't care if women, I don't care. Look, let me get my words together here. All this excess stuff, Claude Brown, what's up? All this weave and these eyelashes and tattoos, there's nothing feminine or sexy about you looking like Chewbacca. There's nothing sexy or feminine about women looking like Mr. Snuffleupagus by the eyelashes. There's nothing sexy about a woman looking like a prison inmate with those damn tattoos on her body. But this is where I put on black men. If y'all would stop paying attention to these people, if we stop giving these women this kind of sexual attention, I think they would learn, like, men don't, because men don't like this. But the guys, black men, have been convinced that they're so depraved of women, that they around here showing sexual attention to the obese ones, the extra thick ones, the tattooed ones, the weave ones. Because everybody know, if you haven't figured it out, women don't dress up or whatever for us. They dress up to try to compete, to see what each other thinks. Yeah, you know that? Black women don't give a damn about what we think. All we do, we thinking we making a choice. No, we just going along with it because they're trying to get some. And that's where it is. So busy trying to get laid. They don't care what she look like. And that's going to have to stop. We're going to have to stop having sex with these farm animals and these prison convicts, these tatted up prisoners, these eyelashes looking like pterodactyl wings, and this broken English. You know, we have to make that decision to physically protest this, because there are plenty of women in America, plenty of women across the world who don't look like these American chicks. You know, and that attitude. And that same thing, you know how I was just saying how ladies, what's up, Dwayne? Good morning, brother. Let me see what you say. Man, the farm animal. Oh yeah, man. Because the black dudes are having sex with these people. That's why they don't try to change. They're having sex with these folks. Stop having sex with these motherfuckers that look like they belong, man, somewhere that somebody need to be watching them before they escape. It don't make any sense. And of course, not all, but too many. It's gone too far. Guys, zip your pants up. Open a book. Man, god damn. Put the damn PlayStation down and learn about life. This to our teenage boys. Put the PlayStation down. Learn about real life. Playing and shit. All day long. So you're not out here learning and figuring this stuff out by actually doing it. You know, I akin this to driving a car. See, a lot of guys, yeah, I like driving a car. I like driving a car, but and you go through on your PlayStation game, and you're doing it through PlayStation. But for us in the 80s and probably the early 90s, we had what's called driving ed. We actually got behind the wheel and learned how to drive. So a lot of these young men today aren't being put out there in real life and going out here learning girls and learning women and, you know, learning themselves as young men. They still out here playing games in that goddamn room all day long and talk to other corny nerd ass dudes. Good morning, big bro. Eric, what's up? They're not out here learning. And that's why you have this awkwardness, and that's why they don't know how to communicate with these young women. And the young women doing all the communicating, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about 96% of the time. Yeah, I said it. But these young men, they're listening to this foolishness. You can't listen to somebody with goddamn the Land Before Time eyelashes. Remember that little thing that was it? Flying them down, little dog, whatever, like a puppy with them big ass eyelashes. You can't take those people seriously. And I know you're not listening to no logic from nobody that wear hair that come out of a plastic bag that belong to a woman of another race. You can't be that damn dense. You taking what she say seriously? And she can't even wear her own hair? Man, come on. Just a whole see how much work we got to do? We got a lot of work to do in our community, in our race. If we wanted to continue, you know, stop letting other folks tell us how we're supposed to think. Democrats and white Democrats, black Democrats, white gays and black gays. They're the ones telling the black community who to be mad at, where to go, how to vote. And we're listening to that foolishness. But when we'll get it one day and start looking around and say, this shit ain't by accident. These folks look crazy as hell out here. Even with poor customer service and our young people, you know, we don't correct them anymore. And I would tell you, I would charge you. Y'all start calling managers and district managers and getting these folks fired. Fuck them. They don't know how to say, excuse me, how are you? May I help you? Even if you came in, your orders messed up and you was acting a clown. They can say, I'm sorry, ma'am. Maybe it's something I can do to help you. Now, first of all, you got me so messed up, bitch. And no. And I helped you. You know, all that kind of mess. Go ahead with your order. You know. No, report these people. Get them fired. Yeah. You're talking about white folks. One thing about it, white folks may not say anything to you, but all of a sudden, you know, how in the hell am I in the manager's office? I ain't hearing nobody say nothing. They don't. They just get on their car and the phone, tell it on your ass. You're going to get a reprimand or fired. And that's how we need to start doing. We stop complaining about poor customer service on social media and take action. Pick up the phone and tell it on their ass. Claude said, hell, the sad part about it may not be any change in our lifetime. It is a possibility, but I think if we continue to push this out, I want to encourage you to action. Go out there and tell it on their ass. Get them fired. And tell them, write them letters saying, look, all y'all might need to have what's called a countrywide meeting with the owners and administrators of Chick-fil-A. Let them train all the employees. Chick-fil-A can make a lot of money if they put out contracts saying, hey, we'll train your employees on how to behave. We'll even show you how to pick them. Because in Chick-fil-A, they don't have people with tattoos on their body. Now, I haven't been across, but maybe y'all let me know. They don't have people with this weird accent and this hood projection in their speech. They don't have that, and they can be right there in the hood. But it's like, wow, where these kids come from? They look clean. They look like they've read a book or they're passing in school. They sound like it. They sound like they possibly may go to the Air Force or somewhere or college. They don't sound like these folks that work at Church's Chicken. They don't sound like these folks that work at Popeyes. They don't sound like these folks that work at Jack Purtle's in my hometown of Memphis. They don't sound like those people. Chick-fil-A. They sure don't sound like the people that work at the White Castles and the Crystals in Memphis. How you doing? All right, so how can I help you? You know, pleasant, country, hood. You know, a lot of times not very professional. And the people don't look very professional. Sound very professional either. You know, our standards have been low, so lowered, that we didn't even know what appropriate service is, a lot of us. We just say, well, child, you know, it is what it is. We ain't got no more chicken wing. We ain't got no more thighs and gizzards. What? You know, we're over that. So, start telling on them, get them fired, write letters, hell, protest if you have to. Because customer service is only going on because the customers are not going that extra mile to get these people fired. You know, that's a customer service. That's something people can do because they come in contact with these people every day. Yeah, find out what a corporate office is, and we form groups and say all of us at one time, 30 people gonna write a letter, separate letters, talking about this employee or this branch or whatever. Get them out of there. And then demand that branch do better in their hiring process. And then of course you got the, well, it's gonna be people out of work. Good. They can go find work somewhere else, maybe working on construction. They don't have to have too many manners working on construction. And they'll make a nice little living. Just stay out the public. Because some people were not created, trained, or just made to do customer service. You have to have a particular temperament about you and a patience. And then a genuine like for people in the public. You know, like you're a social worker or something. You know, like yours truly. Or a counselor. Or a teacher. Or a doctor or a nurse. You have to genuinely like people. You can't go in there, ooh, they pay $27 an hour. I want to do that. But don't you know you have to deal with people to make that money? And that's a huge problem. People just get into stuff just so they can earn the money. And I understand that, but can you muster up enough couth to make it to your 8-hour shift without being a jackass? You know, people come into your place of business with all types of attitudes, and they've had bad days and all that, but you're there to absorb it all because you're trying to sell a product, even if their product is you. We have to teach young people that, and teach some of these old grown people that too. And I don't give a damn who you are, what you own. If you own a business or a restaurant, don't put the toothless old people at the cash register, please. Don't even put them in the drive-thru. And if you do, let them work overnight, that 11 to 7 in the morning shift. Because when people come in on Friday and Saturday night drunk, they don't care, they just want the food. But in the daytime, we don't want to see these unattractive people. Now, that's a separate video I'm going to do about the country, all of us. Particularly men and women too, because this concerns you too. It's not just a man thing, because I know y'all go through it too, but I'm just speaking from my own experience about when I go to a bar and a grill, I need the waitresses and I need the bartenders, if it's female, to be attractive women. Again, I'll go more into that, but I'll just say this to places like Boomer Jacks. I love Boomer Jacks. Places like Cheddar, I love Cheddars. You know, anywhere. But I don't need no place like a Boomer Jacks and these bars that have the women in like scantily dressed clothes. Well, if they're gonna show their boo-boo, please let's not have dents in your ass. If you gonna have your booty cheeks out, this place called Redneck Heaven in Arlington, got all these young women. They got their booty cheeks out, but it look like somebody took a ball peen hammer and beat them up. Like he took a... Okay. It's too early on a Sunday morning for this bullshit. Okay. Like it's a ball peen hammer and beat him across the booty cheeks. Dents every goddamn well. Y'all need to cut it out. But that's another video. I think I've talked too long. Because I have... Look. In case you didn't know, I have a short story that's always on sale. It's called The Greatest Pain I Ever Felt. It talks about when I accidentally found out about my biological father at 22 years old. And then I got a chance to meet him in person at 39 years old when I knocked on the door. And he came out and he said, hey, what's up, what's up? And he said, how'd you find me? And I said, well, you know, Google MapQuest. So I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me. And so if you'd like to read the rest of that story, it's only $10. It's in PDF format, so please send me an email address if you hit me on that Cash App, $Rico the Opinionist, or PayPal. Usually people are hitting me on the Cash App. And please send me an email address. Thank you all who hung out with me this morning on my Sunday morning worship as I did my little run and I'm doing my cool down, walk down with y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all. I will see y'all again in the future. Be cool. Peace.